How are technology and advancements completely revolutionizing the podcast industry in 2024? I'm Simona. This is As It Relates to Podcasting, the place that you need to be to hear all of your podcast launch, growth, and monetization techniques, tools, and strategies from 2024 and beyond. Today, I want to cover 5 predictions that I have for 2024 when it comes to the podcast production industry. Some of them will be new to you, and honestly, some of them may not, but either way, there's a lot of value packed into our conversation today. The first thing that I want to talk about is AI. AI has completely revolutionized the way that everything is done in our world. Things like ChatGPT and other AI softwares have completely revolutionized the way that we create content, produce content, consume content, and the efficiency that it brings to our life is just honestly unparalleled. So, with that in mind, I have some predictions when it comes to AI in the podcast space specifically. We've already seen different tools and technologies adapt this AI specific focus. Recording softwares, editing softwares, social media clip softwares, all of these different pieces are really key and really important, in my opinion, to pay attention to in 2024, because I feel like we're just getting started. We're just scratching the surface. Now, as a podcast producer, of course, we've tapped into AI for our production process because I really feel like AI has a place when it's used properly. The key thing that I will say is making sure that you are using your own content in your AI strategy so that it's not creating something that you have actually not written or done or created yourself, okay? I'm going to give you an example of how we use AI within my production agency, within my own content, and all of the above. So first of all, we edit all podcasts using Descript. Descript is an incredible tool. The link for that is in the show notes below if you want to test it out, but it's an incredible tool to help you edit your video content, audio content, pull clips, create show notes, and all of the above. Now, with the click of a button, I can have it help me create show notes, find markers throughout each episode. I can have it, help me find video clips and quotes and all of the above. Now, while this is really helpful, and I'm really grateful for the help of AI, nothing can replace a human touch. Within my agency, we always make sure to prioritize everything that we're doing by adding in that human aspect. It's very challenging for AI to know your exact voice, write in the exact way that you will, share your message in the impactful way that only you can. So I think it's really key to use AI and to leverage AI in your strategy, your content strategy, your marketing strategy, your creation strategy, and also know that you need to always have that human touch, because nothing will beat and nothing compares to the human touch and the human experience that you will get. Now, when it comes to AI predictions, there are so many possibilities that can happen this year. We've already seen so much happen in 2023 by ChatGPT creating, you can create your own GPTs and so many different things. I know that it's going to continue to advance, and one of the key things will be staying on top of these AI tools and AI technologies. So don't be afraid of it, embrace it, adapt it into what you're doing, but don't let it be everything that you're doing. AI is great. There's definitely a place for it, but again, does not replace the human touch that you need within your podcast. One of the things as well that I've heard of is these AI-based podcasts where you get AI to create a script, you feed it to an AI generator, and then you create a podcast that way. I have a love and hate with those. And I'm going to say, if that's something that you're planning on doing and it's something that you want to do, be sure to use your own content at the bare minimum, okay? Moving on, the next thing that I want to talk about in 2024 is SEO keywords and engaging titles. Your podcast needs to be discoverable. How we do that is a combination of all things. It's content, social media marketing, traditional marketing, digital marketing, paid advertising, emails, funnels, SEO, keywords, tags, titles. All of these different pieces are what contribute to making your podcast discoverable, including cover art and graphics as well. All of this stuff is so crucial. And I know that it can feel like a lot to get it all quote unquote right, but you don't need to do all things. You just need to have a really clear understanding of how you're going to create your podcast and how all these different pieces fit into your overall plan. Now, you want to make sure that you're using targeted keywords in your titles and in your descriptions, but you also want to make sure that you're not keyword stuffing. You want to make sure that you're not packing your titles with all these different keywords to make it look like something that you can't even really understand. Make your titles engaging and make them reflective of your content. Something that I learned from an upcoming guest on my As It Relates to Podcasting show that's coming out in February of 2024 is super key. Think about your 3 main topics that you've talked about in your podcast and create your content based off of that, okay? This will allow you to improve your SEO strategy and your completion rates. So think of your titles as your first impressions. Think of, how am I going to hook people in, get them to want to come in to this content and listen to what we are sharing today. You really have to make this one count. The next piece we're talking about is video content. I truly believe that podcasts are not just audio only anymore. There's a huge need and a huge drive of having video content. Even if you're not taking your podcast and putting it on YouTube, using your video to help you promote your podcast, whether that's on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or wherever it is that you're promoting, whatever your content strategy is, it is absolutely crucial that you have a video component in some way. So even if you're using audiograms, for example, using an audiogram on a static image just ain't it anymore. What you should be doing, and I hate using the word should because I never tell anyone to should do anything, but what I think you should do is take those audio sounds and at least overlay it on B-roll, at least put it over a quote, at least create that content in a really engaging way and leverage using video. It doesn't have to be scary and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can keep it as simple as you want to. And there's a lot of really great tools. Like Opus Clips is an amazing tool for that. Headliner is a really great tool for that. And also you can do that on Descript. So check out these 3 tools. I'll put the links in the show notes for you below, okay? Video adds a totally different dimension to your storytelling, and it makes it more engaging and it makes your content more accessible to all people. People don't always just consume content by audio only anymore, right? So we want to make sure that our content is hitting people in exactly the way that they want to be served. Create the content for the market in the exact way that your audience likes to receive their content, okay? Think about your industry, think about your niche, think about what you're doing, think about what you're creating, think about where you sit and how important video is for you in your overall strategy, which takes me to the next point here, which is your content strategy. This is the 4th pillar that we're going to talk about today. It's all about planning and it's all about consistency. In 2024, I want you to be consistent. I want you to have a clear content strategy because it is more important than ever. If you want to be seen and if you want your content to make a true impact, you got to show up. So having a content strategy to support you behind that is going to be crucial in getting your show from just in the airwaves, just in your RSS feed, into the hands of the people who need to hear it, watch it, listen to it, binge it, consume it, and all of the above. But this means understanding your listener. This means planning your content in advance. This means knowing exactly what you're going to be putting out and when, what you are launching and when, and maintaining that consistent posting schedule. Long gone are the days of post and ghost. Let's just leave that behind, okay? Your strategy should also be really flexible enough to adapt to different trends that are happening in the market, listening to listener feedback, and implementing something new if you want to test. One of the best perks about content creation is that you get to create in the exact way that you want to. Prioritize this in 2024. Get excited about the content that you get to create. Be proud of what you're doing. Be proud of your message. Share your voice, right? How we do that is through consistency, through intention, and having a content plan that supports our overall goals, mission, dreams, vision, values, all of the above. Everything is intertwined. Everything plays into each other. So be sure that you prioritize your content strategy and be strategic with what you're putting out and when, so that you can impact the people that need to hear your message. Finally, my last tip for you today is YouTube. So of course, you're watching this on YouTube today. If you're watching this video and if you're listening to the video, we do have a YouTube channel. You can come check us out there too. It's not just for video creators. It's not just for vloggers. It's a really powerful platform for podcasters too. In 2023, we saw YouTube make a lot of advancements to its podcasting space. And so we know that there's going to be a lot coming down the line there. If your podcast is not on YouTube yet, definitely start to explore it. It is really crucial for you to understand how to use the platform in 2024. With that said, I do have a masterclass that I'm hosting for free in January. So if you want information on that, be sure to follow me on social media, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, because you will be able to hear all about that when it goes live. So I'm super excited about that. Finally bringing a bit of YouTube content to creators to help you get your show and your podcast up on there and tap into that market as well. Leveraging YouTube expands your reach. You can post full videos, you can post shorter videos, you can post clips, behind the scenes, Q&As, shorter style vlogs if you want to. There's a massive audience, a vast audience of people and search capabilities that will help you reach those new listeners that you're trying to reach and really truly make that impact that you're wanting to with your content. There are people out there who prefer watching podcasts and watching content instead of listening to it. So by making yourself available and accessible on YouTube, you are tapping into a potentially massive market that will bring you incredible results. With all of this in mind, I truly believe that 2024 is going to be a year of massive change. Podcasting, in my opinion, is still quite in its infancy, and we're seeing a lot change already. What we're seeing the biggest changes in is now creators have the power in their hands to create the shows that they want to create, to share the message that's important to them, to show up, to entertain, to educate, to inspire. This is the year where we get to do that in the most powerful way possible. And how I think it's going to change is through things like AI, prioritizing your keywords, your show notes, your titles, your cover art, creating a content plan that makes sense and that's supporting your bigger vision and your mission here. Showing up on video content and leveraging that video content in a really significant way. And lastly, incorporating YouTube into your overall strategy to make an even bigger impact. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a rating and review of the show if you're listening to this on a podcast app. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I want to hear what you think. Put a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Be sure to hit that subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.